Continuing in the book of Leviticus, we read two parshas this week, Achrei and Kedoshim. Achrei means after the death, and this is now after the death of Aaron, the high priest, his two sons, Nadav and Avihu, who went into the Holy of Holies in the newly inaugurated tabernacle in a way that was not commanded. They went in with an offering that God did not ask them to bring. And some commentators suggest that they were looking for a very deep connection, a closeness to God, but it was one that was outside of the prescribed way of doing it. And as a result, their souls couldn't stay tethered in their physical bodies and they died. We continue with the second parsha, which is Kedoshim. And in Kedoshim, there are 51 different mitzvos, different commandments that are elucidated and given to the Jewish people. We have ones that are between us and God. For instance, not to commit idolatry. For instance, not to put tattoos on our bodies. To observe the Shabbat and keep the Shabbat. We have laws that are between us and God. We also have laws that are between us and each other. There are many of them. That we should have just societies, that we should have fair weights and measures in the marketplace, that we should not take revenge, that we should not put a stumbling block in front of the blind, and the very famous saying that we should love our neighbor as ourselves, that we should not bear a grudge, that we should not hate, and so on and so on. And so in this week's Torah portion, Kedoshim, there are 51 different ways that we are taught to be moral, to be principled, to help us create a structure, create a society that God commands for how we are to come close to Him. We also learn in this week's Torah portion, we are given a calling to be holy, that we should be holy because God is holy. So perhaps one of the interpretations of what it means to be holy is to become close to God, to manifest godliness in the world, to be a partner with God in what we think, what we say, what we do. Then all the levels of how we interact in this world, that we should be the source for godliness in the world. We should connect ourselves to God, to partner with God, to bring godliness into the world. And that makes us into a holy people. So we know that we have holiness in time, that Shabbat is a holier day than the weekdays. Yom Kippur is the holiest of all days. We know that we have holy spaces, that the tabernacle and the temple in Jerusalem are the holiest of places, that are more holy, more connected to God than other places, and that we have holy people. For instance, the high priest on Yom Kippur who went into the Holy of Holies was the holiest person at that time. So to be connected to God is something that we are called to do. And we have many ways to do it, and many of which are elucidated in this week's Torah portion. We are to partner with God, to connect to God, and to make ourselves into the kind of people that we have the potential to be.